So for any individual that's out there, they have to identify, am I ready to buy a home? Do I have the money? Do I have the down payment? Do I have the credit? Do I check all the boxes? And if that all aligns to being yes, then right now is a time for you to buy a home. But if not, then it's okay to rent. It's okay to be a renter.
Yeah.
It's probably stress-free to be a renter.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, you're right.
Hey, what the name of this show?
I Talk Great.
I Talk Great.
Y'all already know what it is, man. It's your boy, Mr. Williams, I Talk Gray, where we talk about the gray areas of business because it's never just black and white. I'm here with the real estate king in the building. Jeffrey, what's going on, man?
What's going on, brother? Excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, of course, man. It's been a little minute. We met on the Entrepreneur, I forgot what it's called, the Link Up, Entrepreneur Link Up.
Yep, amazing. Which is coming back actually July 8th. Excited for part 2 of that.
Yeah, you gonna be there?
Shout outs to Amari, most definitely.
Yes, of course. You gonna be in the building?
I will definitely be there, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Excited. It's July 8th around 4 o'clock. And I know he ordered the banner today and things are rocking and rolling.
Okay, you a sponsor?
I am not. No.
Okay.
No, but I just know he ordered the banner.
Okay.
I spoke to him earlier and he told me that.
Okay. Man, I saw you the other day at the Wealth Connect Live on the yacht, man. You was doing your thizzle.
Man, that was an amazing event. Beyond the yacht party, just the whole 3 days, the Friday, the Saturday, the Sunday was just exceptional, man. I definitely took some nuggets and went to work, and I'm just excited that once again, I was in the room. I was able to meet people.
Yeah.
I brought a lot of the speakers back. They're going to be coaching for us here in the real estate space for Claudiane and myself. And
wow, that's
excited
amazing.
for the connections that we made, man. And that's really what it's about when you go to these events. It's not just going and taking information and not implementing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going, taking information, implementing it, and seeing who you can collaborate with and create new friends and new partners.
No, facts. What do you think about the future of these type of events? Like, do you think it's going to last long, or what do you think? Because I've been hearing people talk like, man, I was at an event the other day and this lady was like, stop paying these people and stop paying. They're not giving you the sauce. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm kind of twofold on it, to be honest with you. I think one, I'm gonna be truthful if I may.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we like transparency.
There you go, baby. I think one, you gotta attend these events and understand that you need them to re-synergize yourself. What happens is sometimes we lose energy and we lose momentum, and we attend these type of events so that they refocus us and tell us, man, we can do it.
Yeah.
We've seen people do it. We can go even further. But I think also what happens now is with the access to YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, what you're seeing you're seeing pretty much the same stuff there that you're seeing in person.
Yeah.
So then you can say, man, I'm going to sit all the way in the front and pay the $20,000 seats or the $10,000 seats, or I'm going to sit all the way in the back and pay the $200 seats.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, is it all the same when they're recording, just like we're on now recording?
Yeah.
And then they're playing it back.
Mm-hmm.
They're having discussions about it the next day.
Yeah.
They're selling the recording. So is it really worth it? Is the conversation that I ask myself.
Yeah.
But then I know that you got to have a couple of objectives when you attend these type of things.
Yeah.
Who am I going to meet? Number one, who am I going to meet that I can collaborate with, which is what we did.
Yes.
What piece of information that I'm looking for and I'm going to implement right away.
Mm-hmm.
And number three, what ideas can that give me that I can now put into work and know that's going to be beneficial to me or my team or whatever business that I'm in.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree with you, bro. Like when the lady was saying it, I was like, yeah, okay, I get what you're saying, the YouTube, but it's different like what you was just saying in regards to the energy and the people that you can meet, the networking side of it and the building relationships afterwards. So I totally agree with you on that. But before we get so deep, right, in the sauce, where are you from?
Born and raised here in Miami, Florida.
Really?
Here my whole life. Yeah,
305?
The 305, yeah.
Okay.
When I got into real estate, I ended up moving over to the 954. So I've been in the 954 forever. But 305.
954.
There you go.
All right.
The 305 is home, man. I was actually in Miami today. We're looking at a house that we're going to be putting on the market. And what it did was it reminded me of the home that I grew up in because the backyards were so big.
Okay.
Nowadays, you're in these houses and these zero lot lines, and there's really no backyard, and you're touching your neighbors and those type of things. So it just brought me back home for a quick second. And I stood in that backyard and I said, man, I remember these type of backyards growing up.
Yeah. Do you think, funny that you say that, right? Do you think having that backyard, do you think that played a part with expanding your vision for life?
Me, nah, because I was always inside. I was always indoors.
Well, what
But
kind of
this-
parents you had? You
but-
from the island or?
Yeah, so my dad is from Jamaica.
Oh, yeah, Yadi man. Okay.
My mom is from Haiti.
Wow.
Yes.
Yadi and Sapase.
Yes. So
Okay.
but at an early age, my parents were always here. You know, my mom came here. She had me in her 30s. My dad was in his 30s as well, but my parents came here from the time they was in their 20s. They've been here ever since.
Okay.
So actually, I've actually never been to Haiti before.
You speak Creole?
No, I understand it. I understand
Okay.
it.
Sapase.
You don't want to hear me speak it. It's not gonna happen. I
No,
just
I've heard
can't.
Haitians say that, like, if you're not like from there, you're not speaking the correct Creole. You're like
Yeah.
speaking like the Ebonics in Creole.
And broken up, right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
Okay.
So,
have you ever been to Jamaica?
I've been there, yeah. I haven't been to Kingston. I've never been to Kingston, but I've been to other parts, the resort styles,
Okay.
parts of Jamaica.
So who would you choose from in terms of dish? Jamaica, Haiti? Which one you going
I think
with?
they're both delicious, to be honest with you.
No, you're right.
I think a homemade. So I live alone.
Okay.
Lived alone since I was about 20 years old, and I would say any home cooked meal.
That was a light flex right there. Y'all didn't know that. He said he's been living alone since 20.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I would say any home cooked meal, like a home cooked meal like that, is definitely delicious compared to my Americanized dishes that I be just creating, putting together. And
So you more Americanized with it.
yeah, I would definitely say that.
Okay. At least he honest, man. So what got you into real estate anyway? Like, so after high school, did you go to college? What was up?
I did go to college. I ended up attending Nova, but before that, a great friend of mine was in the business of real estate, and he told me to get into it. And I remember when I was graduating high school at the age of 18, my parents told me to get into real estate.
Really?
And I actually said no. I always
What?
had the ambitions to be an attorney. I always had the ambitions to be an attorney. And then my friend said, get into real estate. And as you know, we don't listen to our parents, but we listen to our friends.
Yeah, true.
So ended up working with him and then eventually getting my real estate license, and the rest is history.
So what made you want to be a lawyer?
I always wanted to since the second grade.
Really?
And I shared
So you
this-
had big dreams.
Yeah, but really I don't think it came out from wanting to be an attorney. I think
Mhm.
what ended up happening, and I think about the story just the other day,
Uh-huh.
just the other day, I think about when we were little and we were probably in the second grade,
Mhm.
and we all had to dress up as the character of what we wanted to become when we became adults.
Ah, okay.
And I wanted to be a firefighter.
So firefighter, lawyer.
But check it out. Let me tell you the story here. I wanted to be a
Okay.
firefighter,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't grow up with my mom or my dad. I actually grew up with my aunt. So my mother was always working. She worked 3 jobs to put
okay.
food on the table.
Yeah.
My dad did his own thing. So my aunt raised me. So I was living with my aunt, and I remember having to attend that event, which is dressing up as the self that you see yourself when you're an adult.
Mhm.
And I didn't have a firefighter outfit to put on. So I wore and I remember this just like yesterday.
Yeah.
I wore some gray slacks and a white button up.
Ah, so you felt like you was in that part of a attorney.
Yeah. So then what ended up happening was the kids made fun of me. They made fun of me for not wearing the right thing. And then I saw someone that wanted to be an attorney have the right thing on. And I said, that's what correlated me to want to become an attorney right then and there. And that was the second grade.
Wow.
And I had that ambition since,
Yeah.
well, I guess the rest. I went
Yeah.
to high school. I participated in teen court.
Mm-hmm.
I participated in mock trials throughout Miami-Dade County.
Mm-hmm.
I competed against other wanted to be attorneys as well.
Yeah.
I did some community service work with the North Dade Justice Center.
Okay.
And I really played my ties as far as being an attorney and saying that, hey, I was going to be an attorney. And I honestly, I still feel like it's in me though.
Okay.
So I always feel like at the age of 40, I share this story to everyone. At the age of 40, I plan to retire out of real estate. And I feel like somewhere in lines of that. So I'm
You can
34
still make it
years
happen.
old.
34. Okay.
Yeah. So
All right.
somewhere in the lines of that, there's an opportunity to go back to school and become that attorney. I hear a lot of people become attorneys at the age of 40.
Bro, it's still possible. You have what was his name? Judge Joe Brown. I think he was like 50.
Exactly.
So it's still possible, man. You got to shoot for the stars.
So
man, sorry, I don't mean to cut you.
No, definitely.
I saw that you started real estate in 2008.
Yes, 2008. That's when I started
I
working
was
with my
doing
friend.
my due diligence, right? So how did you
Beautiful.
survive the crash? Because that's like renting. That's like when it was like now happening.
So it wasn't my full-time gig. I went into real estate full-time in 2011 after I was let go of my job, which I'm going to talk to you about that.
Ah,
But
okay.
in 2008, I was working at the Fresh Market. It was a grocery store that I had just
Mhm.
climbed the ladder up, and I ended up working for corporate office. By the age of like 17, 18 years old, I was working for corporate office.
Okay.
And my friend was in the real estate division of where a lot of people were facing foreclosure. And it was knocking on the people's doors.
Yeah, I know
making
that was
phone
that
calls,
time. Yeah.
helping them to save their homes or helping them sell their homes.
Yeah.
And I remember us going to the courthouse numerous times, filing documents, assisting people out of their homes and learning modifications and learning how to save their houses and learning what deed in lieu was and all that stuff. So I ended up, I remember knocking on this one guy's house that was battling cancer. And I'm 18, 19 at this time, you know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of new to me what's going on in America, you know?
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't care about what's going on with my house right now. I'm battling cancer. And I'm like, this guy's nuts. But then now being at the age that I am, I think it's bigger than the house. You know, it's bigger than the house. So I worked with my friend for a great time. We're still great friends till today.
Okay.
But what happened was I wanted to go greater, you know? And we decided, yes. So we decided to part ways, and that's when I joined the company that I was with, and which was known as the Kai's Company, and I just climbed the ladder there as well.
Wow. Okay, man. You've been preparing throughout life. You know, you might have not known, but you was, right? So what type of mindset do you think you have to have before you become a real estate agent?
I think any field of work, I always believe the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So I think with any field of work, you gotta have definitely a professional mindset.
Yeah.
But I believe also a go-getter mindset. And it's not something that everyone has.
Yes.
But it's something I think that you can find.
Really?
You can find a go-getter mindset because you have to understand that our whys are different. And you have to allow your why to be bigger.
All whys. Okay, sorry.
Yes.
I thought you said whys like WISE.
No, whys. WHYS. Your
okay,
whys.
okay. Yes. No, that's true.
To be bigger than anything else. So for example, maybe it's health. Maybe you want to help your parents out. Maybe you want financial freedom.
Yeah.
Maybe you're stuck living somewhere that you don't want to live. Or maybe you desire to have a whole lot of money.
Whole lot of money.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So and so I think anyone can be successful in the space of real estate.
Okay.
But it's identifying your why. And what happens to the real estate market now is why I believe it gets watered down is because so many people don't understand why they're getting into real estate.
They don't have no vision.
Exactly. They don't have a long-term vision and they don't really know why. You know, I probably was that person.
Okay.
I probably got into real estate because my friend told me to get into real estate.
Yeah.
I saw he was doing extremely well.
Okay.
And I probably said, man, I desire to have this. And he's doing something correct. So let me go do it, you know?
Yeah.
But not really understanding that, man, you're actually changing people's lives.
Yeah.
When you're able to put a buyer and a seller together, you're changing someone's life.
Yeah.
When you're able to make something happen that someone believed that could not happen, you're changing their lives. You know, all the time I tell my people, and I run a team, excited to be running a 60-man team now. But when I
60-man team.
So thank you.
Clap that up, man. That's dope.
But when I talk to my team, I say, man, it's not really about the $1 million deals. It's about the 60 or 70-year-old person that believed that she could never be a homeowner. She finally owns a home after renting 20, 30, 40 years. And then you show her that it is an opportunity for you to own your own house.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's about. And that's when it's actually changing people's lives. You're creating opportunities for people to become millionaires and they don't even know it.
Wow. No, man, that's so impactful. Are you a business owner, entrepreneur, entertainer, and you got a story to tell? You want to get your brand out there to the world? Well, you reached the right place. Let's set up an exclusive interview between me and you. I Talk Gray, and we're going to go ahead and get your brand out there to the world. But here what you do. Go ahead and send me an email with the words gray at italkgraymedia@gmail.com. See you soon. So, man, getting into the real estate game, right? Do you just shoot straight to the multi-million listings? How do you start off? What's the best way to start off?
It's funny you say that. Before I answer your question, though, I'm going to say one thing that I don't know if this question's on the agenda or not. But if I can go back, what is one thing that I would change? And as I drove down Oakland Park Boulevard to get here, 'cause I was like, man, these homes are beautiful. And then I thought of this the other day, but then I thought of it again. If I were to go back when I first started real estate, I'd probably not be afraid to go after the bigger deals.
So you think a newbie should start at the top first, not the bottom?
I think you should start where you want to start.
Okay.
Because what happens is that there's a fear in you that believe that you can never sell homes of 2 million, 5 million, 10 million. Then there's a notion in the real estate space that you always got to start small and go big. Then you may not have the right people around you. And they're going to tell you, no, you're not educated enough to sell luxury or work commercial or do land acquisitions. So what I believe, though, is that when you get into the space of real estate, you have to really understand, man, where do I see myself working and what group or niche do I see myself helping the people out?
Okay.
I worked with buyers and sellers my whole real estate career until 2018, man. I say it again, until 2018, where I said I wanted to work with only sellers. And what did I do? I started taking education courses. I started aligning myself. I started focusing on working directly with sellers.
Yeah.
Hence why I'm dropping something I'm going to be dropping. We'll talk about it later on.
Okay.
My own community. I'm excited about that.
Hey, okay.
And in my community, I'm going to help other real estate professionals work with sellers.
Okay.
Because that's another thing. They always believe that when you first start in the real estate business, you got to work renters, you got to work buyers, and you got to work your way to sellers. No, I don't want to do that.
I don't want that. Okay, so how do you choose the right broker?
I think you got to understand, once again, what is being provided to you. So anyone that wants to be successful, you're going to need coaching and mentorship.
Even after you take the real estate course?
Of course.
Okay.
That real estate course is just a guidance to provide you an opportunity to get a real estate license. But for you to learn inundate stuff, because what happens is when you become the realtor, you become the psychologist, you become the attorney, you become the police officer, you become the teacher, you become everything, and you don't learn that in the field.
So realtors are 24/7.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because I don't believe so.
Okay.
I really don't believe so. And I think, once again, it's an operation of a business.
All right.
And I think if we sum this all up, it's running a business. And one thing that why people are not successful sometimes is that they don't understand that they're operating a business. So you have to understand that you're the CEO, COO, CMO now.
Okay.
CFO. And people don't understand that sometimes, and that kind of messes them up. So as a brand new realtor that's getting their real estate license, how do they choose a brokerage? They have to make sure that they do the education and they say, man, does this company align with my long-term goals? Can this company get me to the next level? Does this company have the skills, the technology, and the tools to guide me to where I want to get to? And that's where it goes back to, what do I want to work with? If I want to work with sellers, am I going to work with a company that only does rentals?
Okay.
If I want to do luxury, am I going to work with a company that has no luxury sales?
Okay.
And if I want to do commercial, am I going to work with a company that does a lot of commercial, or am I going to work with a company that does not? So what you got to do is you got to really study. And, shame on me, though, when I signed up, granted, I had visited a few brokerages. Yeah. But kind of when I had decided that I could get my real estate license, I kind of went to the first brokerage that called me, and I made a decision off of that. Okay. I thought everything that they said made sense. I didn't know any better.
Were you just hungry for it, and you just like, yo, I'm gonna just put my feet wherever and swim?
So I had started working with my friend full time 2011. After being kicked out, I would say corporate America. Okay. And then I had said, man, I got to get to the gold faster. So then that's when I started talking to companies, and this company happened to have called me, but they had called me years prior. Yeah. And I had met with them years prior. My previous manager, I met with her years prior. And I said, man, I'm just going to go back there. Then I started interviewing some other companies, but then I just didn't understand what they were saying. And I just didn't like what they were saying. Okay. So this company kind of seemed to have made sense to me at the time. Right. They talked about training. I didn't know anything about a split because I probably would have never agreed to that today. But a split is a commission agreement that you decide between you and the broker.
Yeah, isn't that like standard though?
So not really, because
Really? Okay. No, I thought the broker gets their commission and then the real estate agent gets their commission.
they always do, but you can agree upon how much you get as far as a cut goes, you know.
Oh,
So sometimes they
okay.
believe, like as a newbie, they believe that you gotta get a 50% split or a 60% split.
Gotta get it out the mud.
But yeah. But really, I think it's negotiable. It's
Okay.
negotiable, you
That
know.
man say he believe it's negotiable.
Yeah.
You don't get what you want, you get what you negotiate.
There you go.
Hey.
There you go. And that's exactly it, man.
Well, let me ask you a question, right? Something that I think people want to know. Like, what attracts so much migration to South Florida? Why everybody want to come down here?
Paradise Island, man. Paradise Island. I think one of the reasons that caused us to have a real estate boom the way we did during COVID is that we don't have state taxes. That's number one. Let's educate people on that. We do not have state taxes.
Okay.
We are very lenient on our rules. While things seem to be changing right now with the way our government is running,
Yeah.
we're very lenient with our rules. I believe Florida was extremely open while other states were shut down during the pandemic, during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that you have a huge populations of mixed people here. You know,
No, that's true. Yeah.
you have a lot of job opportunities here. You have stuff that are still growing. And then I believe what happens is when someone thinks of freedom, they think of Florida.
Yeah.
So you notice that a lot of people come here to retire, but a lot of people come here to be millionaires as well.
Oh, that's true. Man, so why did the rents increase so much down here, man? Like, put us on.
Hey, it's what's called demand, man. When the surplus goes over and there's a lot of demand for something,
Yeah.
what do? You increase your prices.
Because rent is keeping people together right now.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's, I was reading an article today from Redfin,
Yeah.
and Redfin says while the real estate market may be down,
Mm-hmm.
the demand for real estate is still up. So that means that there's a lack of inventory that's out there.
Okay.
People are still wanting to move to Florida.
Yeah.
They don't really care about the prices because they need what they need.
No, that's true.
And, and what I believe, though, is honestly, some people believe cutting back. But I think as we continue to go day by day, a lot of people, and the majority of people, think about make more money.
No, that's true. Yeah.
You got to make more money.
Make more
you
money.
have to see, how do I make more money in today's market to survive what's out there?
Yeah.
And maybe it's an additional job, or maybe it's an additional gig, or maybe it is some roommates.
No, facts.
I when I first moved out, I was paying $1,075 a month.
Damn.
Now,
One bedroom?
One bedrooms, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Where was that?
That was in Miramar.
Okay. Yeah.
But think about that today. A one bedroom is like 18, 19, 2100.
So is that why you got into the car luxury rental space? Because I see you whipping it, man.
Man, Turo's been amazing to me. The people I've been able to meet, building my own database once again has been phenomenal to me as well. But honestly, Turo happened because I was driving my Mercedes, and I said,
This man's flexing again.
I said, man, this car's starting to burn a lot of gas with a lot of buyers that I'm working with. So I need something that's a little bit more efficient on gasoline.
Okay.
So I ended up getting myself this was in 2017, I think it was. I got me maybe 2016, 2017. I got me a 2013 Nissan Altima. And I had the car and I drove it for like 2 days. And I'm like, I don't like the way this thing drives.
It wasn't luxury enough?
It just didn't drive like my Mercedes drove.
I mean, it's a Nissan. You know what I'm saying? You compare Nissan to Mercedes.
Ain't no comparison, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So a good friend of mine said, put it on Turo. He said, put it on Turo, rent the car out. They had already been renting cars off of Turo, very familiar with that platform and stuff like that. So I said, I'm gonna rent it out. So I ended up getting on Turo, and it was great to me. So I did Turo from 2016. It was 2016 to 2018.
Wow, you've been doing it for a minute.
Yeah, 2018, I took a pause because that's when I started building my real estate team, and we just started getting bigger. And during COVID in 2020, another friend of mine said that he was getting into Turo, and then he says, you used to be in that. And I said, yeah. He's like, you should get back into it. And I was like, okay, cool. And I got back into it, and 7 cars later, and that's where we're at.
Hey, 7 cars later. I need that Turo. Make sure y'all holler at your boy real quick.
Yeah.
Man, I see you work with the Cardones.
Oh, man, Elena.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to ask you a question, right? Because like maybe a few months ago, it was circulating out there where Grant Cardone had said when he speaks to like the black community, you know, he has to speak in like street terms, right? What are your thoughts on that?
I think what you gotta do is you gotta not read into things the way we like to. You know, we always see the bad in people, but we never truly see the good in them. And what I believe the gentleman was trying to explain, although he kind of was a little bit offline with the way he said it, I think what he just was trying to say is that he just has to baby his terms a little bit so that you can be a better educated.
Yes.
But even myself, I was just talking to my preferred lender on the phone today, and we're going over the program for our home ownership event that we have taking place tomorrow. And I said, I hope you're not going to speak like that. And he's like, what's wrong with it? I said, those people are never going to understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
He's like, okay, I got to dumb it down a little.
Yeah.
Between him and I said, yeah, you have to.
Yeah. No, you're right. I ain't going front. I ain't never heard the word aggregate, allocate, you know, arbitrage. So I started looking into some real estate stuff. So I didn't take it offense because I tell black people all the time, I was like, yo, we can't be promoting all this street stuff and that. And then when they say, well, hey, we're trying to speak to you in that language so you guys can comprehend it. And what he talking about?
Yeah.
Bro, this is how we talk all the time. So he's just saying he's trying to speak in a language that we can understand.
Hey, at the end of the day, just be excited they're talking about you. And that's just how I see it.
Yeah, no, you're right. You know, some people, oh, he culture vulturing. I'm like, man, yo, you're not trying to get into real estate because real estate is where the bread at. Do you own any property?
I do. I own my home. I own my townhouse, and I own a few real estate properties that are on my Airbnb list as well as my rental list as well.
This man got Airbnb. He owns his property. Okay. Do you think it's important for a real estate agent to get into real estate investing though?
I most definitely think so. I think as I'm 7 years away from my 40-year retirement once again, I believe that you have to create a cash flow to supplement the income that you're making.
Okay.
And, you know, one thing that I always tell people is that it's not a trap, regardless of how many years you've been into real estate, man. I never believed that it was attractive to me being on the phone with an agent that happens to be 60, 70, or 80 years old, talk to me about negotiating a contract. I feel like at that age, you need to be like winding down, enjoying life.
Yeah.
You know
colada.
I mean? Yeah. So I believe you work in your 20s, you burn yourself in your 30s. And as you start to get older, you start winding down. So I believe any realtor that says that I'm going to do real estate, understand that there's going to be a time where you don't want to be showing properties and 10, 20, 30 houses and on Saturdays and on Sundays and maybe even being 24/7. So how do I supplement that? I got to be able to create some cash flow opportunities, and that's multiple doors, or that's single doors, or that's Airbnbs, which is kind of dying out right now too. Or maybe that's owning properties. What I see a lot of people doing, or they're owning properties in different countries right now.
No, yeah, I see that's pretty hot now, man.
A great friend of mine owns pretty much a lot of stuff in DR right now. Just excited for them, you know, and what they're doing. So I believe that any person, regardless if you're in real estate or not, get yourself some real estate because that's the number one asset that appreciates rather than depreciates. And even if it does depreciate, it definitely does always go back up. Look at the market that we're in right now.
No, facts,
you know, prime example, man. Prime example. When I was going into my house, I wasn't thinking about purchasing a home. You know, I just had the opportunity come to me, and I was talking to two investors of mine that happened to be my clients.
Yeah,
and they were like, "Don't buy now. Don't buy now." And I was like, One thing about me though is that when I want something, I really like want it. You know,
go get it. Yeah.
So, you know, I got a great deal on my home. Then to see that the values doubled and tripled in less than a year.
Is that with doing like home improvements or just?
No, just the area itself, man.
Okay.
I bought like right before the midst of COVID.
Wow. Okay. You locked in.
Yeah, and I got a great deal, you know, and I even thought about selling my house. I had put my house on the market for a good 24 hours, and I said, wait a minute, where am I going to go?
Got to move back in with mommy and daddy real quick.
I would not do that, but it was just like by the time you move out, I thought about going into a rental. And I'm like, man, what I pay for my mortgage versus a rental just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But I believe anyone should own themselves some real estate.
But what about the Grant Cardone method, right? Where he has rent where you live, but own what you rent. What you think about that?
I believe that's a great method. Actually, that's my method. I played behind that. I remember there's this one investor that I used to work with very, very efficiently, I would say, you know, and he always told me that he was like, you should buy this, you should buy that, you should buy this, you know, and it was always when I was in a rental, you know, and I started working with him, and buying stuff and selling stuff and fixing stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that you probably make your most money in buying properties that you're able to fix and flip or fix and hold, rather than buying a house that doesn't appreciate you anything.
Okay. So you don't believe staying in a house for 30 years?
I don't think I believe in paying off your mortgage. Definitely paying off your mortgage, because that's one thing that you don't have to worry about and someone ever taking from you.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that you got to create some cash flow.
Mm-hmm.
So even for myself, man, if I probably was to turn around, I probably would have sold my house when I wanted to sell my house, because I probably would have taken that money and bought a whole lot of doors with it, rather than being in a house that I really don't even use.
Okay.
I go to the kitchen, I go to my office, and I go to my bedroom. That's pretty much it. I have a pool that I never go inside of. I have a backyard that I never entertain. My dog uses it more than I do.
Yeah.
I'm on a lake that I never even go see. I don't even know what's in there. I don't even know if it's clean.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I have a third bedroom that I never go inside of. It's a storage room.
Okay.
I've done turned my garage into a storage. So it's like I would probably sold my house when it was at its peak, taken that money, bought some more doors, and then figure it out. So now when I'm paying $2,000-$3,000 for rent, it's okay, because I'm loading up on the other side.
Yeah, facts. So if I'm trying to get the most bang for my buck, right, would you suggest residential or multifamily on a first-time purchase?
I think the FHA opportunity to get into a multifamily, rent one side out, live on the other side.
Like house hacking.
There you go.
Yeah.
Definitely makes a win for you, because now what you can do is you can live in that house as an FHA borrower.
Mm-hmm.
You rent the other side. But the way rents are now, you're probably paying the mortgage, you're paying at least 75% of it. Then what you do is you go and you move into another duplex, or you use that money and buy a single family home.
Is your hair thinning and not growing back to its fullest potential? Well, let me refer you to the Action Hair Care products, right? Angie and her daughter, Allie, has 21 plus years of experience, and they specialize in hair growth products, customized hair color, deep moisturizing treatments, and updated hair care routines that are natural and cruelty-free. So if you don't want to end up like me, let me tell you what you do. They're going to promise to give you the best experience for full potential for hair growth, right? So get your papers and pens out right now, and I need you to head over to www.actionhaircareproducts.com. I'm going to say it again, www.actionhaircareproducts.com. And if you're local and you're in the area, you can head over to Deco Drive Beauty Supply in Miramar Parkway, Florida. Also, LA Beauty Supply in North Lauderdale, Florida. White Diamonds Beauty in Fort Pierce. So if you're in that area, head out there to White Diamonds Beauty. And Glam's Beauty Supplies in Port St. Lucie. So let them know Mr. Williams from I Talk Great sent you. Now back to the episode. Yeah.
So there was this opportunity for me to buy a 10-plex.
Wow.
And I wanted the 10-plex so bad.
That sounds sexy.
That I was going to sell my house.
Hell yeah.
I was going to sell my house to get into the 10-plex, Then I started looking at the numbers, and the numbers just weren't there. And I was like, damn, man, I really don't see myself living in one of these units. I really don't see myself living.
You didn't want to deal with some of the tenants?
It's not that. I would have. I would have, but it's just the numbers just didn't make sense. Okay. But what it did was it opened my mind to say, man, I can own a 10-plex. So my bucket list is to own a 10-plex or something bigger.
Okay.
But what I believe is that if you can get multiple doors, 2 doors, 3 doors, 4 doors, 5 doors, why not?
Okay. So you said it didn't make sense, right? The numbers. So how do you calculate profitability?
You calculate what you're paying for the property. Then you take into consideration the taxes, the insurance, the cost of maintenance, and then you divide that by the rent that you're going to be collecting from all the units. And if sometimes, and what happens is sometimes the numbers don't make sense because those tenants been in there for so long. Now, if you have to take them out, that's going to be work for you. You got to renovate the property.
Yeah.
You got to make it more modern to today's standards. Then from there, you're going to be able to rent it out. So it's a lot of work. And then you got to think about high taxes right now. The market's very, very high. So
yeah, it's crazy down here, especially.
And in homeowners insurance, one of my friends last night, she lives in Coral Springs, and she said she just got her homeowners insurance bill, and it's $11,000.
Damn, $11,000
exactly.
Or $1,100?
$11,000.
What?
I pay $7,000 for insurance. So I'm just
this is for the year.
Yes, for the year.
Okay.
But still, $11,000 on insurance is really, really steep. So I have been paying $7,000 for the last 2 years. I remember my neighbor, who's actually a mortgage lender,
Okay.
when he got his bill earlier this year,
Mhm.
he said, "Man, my taxes went, my insurance bill went up to $5,000." I said, "I've been paying that forever, man." So what's happening is that as buyers are buying homes, you gotta just buy a home because you can afford it, and not because you're in love with it. Because you have to understand that your taxes and your insurance is gonna go up, and probably gonna go up each and every single year.
Wow. The fact that you just said that, right? Can you afford it? So what's the difference between eligibility and affordability?
Yeah, great question, man. Listen, I want to move so many times. I look at homes,
Yeah.
and I say, man, I can definitely afford this $700,000 house. I can afford this $1 million house.
Yeah. Yeah.
But do I want the headaches and the work that I'm gonna have to do to be able to afford it,
Mhm.
rather than just staying where I'm at right now and just being in the comfort of my home? So to any buyer that's out there, or even any investor that's out there, what you definitely got to do is you got to calculate, man, not just for today, but for long term,
Yeah.
because my palm trees are overgrown.
Wow.
For example, let's talk about those. And a lot of people talk about those. I was just talking to my neighbor. My neighbor offered to cut the trees for me, but guess what? The guy wants $150 a tree.
Mhm.
There's 6
to cut it down?
to trim them. To trim them, $150 per tree.
Damn.
Yeah, I have 6 palm trees. So I pretty much go through the same thing every 6 months. I go through the same thing. What happens is they start growing so thick that they start to cover my grass. So then my grass starts dying out. I got to replace the grass every single 6 months. Then I got to figure out how to cut the trees.
Replace the grass. You
Yes,
got
'cause
like
it
fake
dies.
grass?
No, I have real grass. But what happens is with the shade being covered from the branches, it's not able to get sun.
Mm.
So then it ends up dying out every single time. So I have to keep trimming the trees every 6 months.
Yeah.
So, your AC goes out, you got to replace it. My house has 2 ACs. So
You have like a home warranty?
you can definitely get those. Those are definitely recommended. But what happens with insurance is that you don't need it until you need it. Then you're like, gosh, I wish I had it. And
yeah, that AC go out, man.
you can't get it, So you're spending $5,000 to $7,000 to $8,000 on AC, depending on what size unit you have. And then there's a lot of other stuff that go into a home. You get a pipe leak, for example, so
Damn.
yeah. And then so many people are skipping out on insurance coverages right now, or certain policies of their insurance coverages, because it's so expensive.
Yeah.
So they're skipping out. Don't give me the water. Don't give me the personal property. Don't give me this. Don't give me that.
Yeah.
And I'll just figure it out when it happens. So there's a lot of other stuff that we're going to have to start to think about as we purchase these homes, because it is going to cost us.
Wow. So if I'm looking to get a home, right, is it important to suggest to offer over the asking price to ensure the deal?
It depends your situation.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I took back $14,000 on my house from the sellers.
Is that because you was a real estate agent?
No, that was not my commission. That was
Okay.
because I wanted to bring the least amount of money to closing. So they were asking $300 for the home. It had got bidded up all the way to $320.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up executing at $330 because I wanted that money, and I wanted to pocket as much money as I wanted to, because I understood that.
Hold on, I don't know if I ain't catch. You said the house was $320,
Yeah,
but you put it for $330.
yes, and I requested $14,000 back. Okay,
How you do that?
hey, great math right there, right? So
it threw me off a little.
So quick technique though. So in today's market, the way the house market is, if there's a house that's really, really hot out there, everyone wants it. How do I get the seller to pick my offer? Is to pay over asking. Okay. But let's say, for example, it's not a house that's very, very hot out there and everyone's not running to it, but I'm short on cash. And I know the seller wants $330, for example. What am I going to do? I'm going to offer her $340 and ask for $10,000 back. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring her back to her $330. So she doesn't lose anything, but I gain. You follow?
Wow.
So that's pretty much what I did for my situation. Not that I didn't have the money, but I just wanted to pocket as much of it.
No, of course.
So it depends on the situation that you're in. If the house is sitting on the market, it's a stale property.
Yeah.
I highly recommend that you go in 15, 10, 20% below ask. But if you know that you're going to need some concessions, you're going to need to be doing some work to the house, or you're just short on cash, what I highly do recommend is that you build a relationship. Number one, you build a relationship with the listing agent. You get yourself a real estate professional out there that knows how to build relationships with people. Number two, you hire me.
Yeah, higher heat.
And then what you do is you go in to understand exactly what the seller's looking for.
Yeah.
And then you play with that,
Okay.
So in today's market, a lot of homes are still being sold over list price. and then there's some homes that are being sold below list, and then there's a larger percentage of homes that are being sold at the ask price.
Okay. So are down payments and interest rates based on like your credit score? How does that work?
They actually are. Your interest rate is based on your credit score. There was actually a Fannie Mae change that just took place, just to balance out the market for pretty much everyone and make home ownership an opportunity for everyone.
Yeah.
But, a buyer of mine got a pre-approval yesterday, and she's at 9%.
Wow.
Because of a collection item that's on her credit that's bringing her to the 6s. So it was highly recommended from the lender to have that item removed off of her credit so that she can see herself get a better rate, which is probably 7 or 6% that's out there. In regards to closing costs, it's going to be the same depending on what type of loan you're getting. If you're getting an FHA loan, a VA loan, or a conventional loan, okay, then what happens is if you're getting an FHA loan, there's something that's called your prepaids. So that can probably change based off of your interest rate because you pay PMI up front.
What's PMI?
Private mortgage insurance. So private mortgage insurance is actually the insurance that the lender takes out to ensure that they are secured for the amount of money that they're providing you. So let's say, for example, you're taking a loan out for $500,000.
Okay.
You're paying PMI on that money whenever you place less than 20% down. And what that does is that assures the lender that if you flake on this loan tomorrow, that he or she is guaranteed to get their $500,000 back.
Okay. So what is all included in the mortgage then?
So I don't escrow for myself. Someone asked me that yesterday. Why don't you escrow? I just like a cheaper mortgage payment. But for the average person out there, they're going to have principal, insurance, taxes, and interest. If there's a homeowners association, they need to factor that into it as well.
Okay.
But they are going to automatically have what's called PITI. Once again, principal, which is the principal of their payment, interest, whatever interest rate that they receive, the taxes, which is what's taken into 12 months and divided by 12, taken it up for a full year and divided by 12. And then there's the mortgage insurance as well.
Okay. I saw you put something on your page. Look, man, this man is dropping gems. I hope y'all writing all this stuff down because he's going in right now. What is the Hometown Heroes?
Oh, man. Super, super excited about that, man.
Yeah.
I'm actually hosting an event tomorrow that we're going to be discussing that. So it's going to be Saturday, July 1st, 2023. I know when this rolls out, it's probably going to be past that.
Yeah.
But excited to know that as of right now, we have about 120 people registered.
Wow. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. We opened up a virtual platform as well. So we wanted to educate people across the world. And what the Hometown Heroes program is, as of July 3rd, 2023, the Live Local Act that was signed actually when I was up in Tallahassee, and it's basically an opportunity to make sure that we keep our residents here and not allow them to move to the other states that they've been moving to. So
yeah, because I was trying to about to dip to Texas, man. Like,
everyone is, man. Everyone is.
Like Houston, I've been seeing some 4 bedrooms for like 260, even multi-units.
Crazy,
for like
right?
220. Yeah.
Just beautiful, too.
Deuces. Yeah.
So the Live Local Act was signed into, and it's not just $35,000. So many other things were signed into there. But the focus of it, is that the buyer that has to be a first-time home buyer has to have lived in Florida for the past 2 years and worked in Florida for the past 2 years.
Okay.
Minimum 640 credit score is eligible to receive up to $35,000 towards their closing costs or down payment, or up to 5% of the loan amount.
Wow. So you said first-time home buyer, right? Can you be a first-time home buyer more than once?
You could definitely be a first-time home buyer more than once. So for this particular program, it's considered a grant. So what happens is we can't confuse a first-time home buyer on a standard versus a grant program. So the grant program basically says as long as you have not owned a home for the past 3 years, you're considered a first-time home buyer, and you'll definitely qualify for this free money.
Okay, you want free money?
Yeah, it's no interest rate, no payback. There's no fine print with this. It's just basically check the boxes.
Yeah.
The lender would do his part if she or he is educated and working on that, and you'll be getting your money towards your closing costs, and there you go on your way.
Okay. What about, because I was looking at this program. Have you ever heard like getting your investment property with an LLC and then you don't have to like show tax returns and things like that? Do you know about that?
Our event's actually going to be focusing on that as well.
Okay.
So through the TikTok videos, the YouTube videos, and the Instagram Reels, I said, man, we have to bring someone that's educated in this field.
Yeah.
So what we call it is we call it our DSCR loans, okay?
Say it again.
DSCR loans.
DSCR loans.
Okay.
Okay.
In the lending institution, they're considered as non-conforming loans.
Mm-hmm.
And these non-conforming loans are basically a buyer can purchase a home in his name or in an LLC
Mm-hmm.
and do what's called a bank statement loan,
Mm-hmm.
which is 12 or 24 months of their bank statements, which works a lot for self-employed people out there, 1099 employees.
Okay.
They can do a profit and loss statement loan as well.
Okay. You hear that, entrepreneur?
Okay.
You can still get a home.
There you go, profit and loss. So even though your company may not be producing money
Mm-hmm.
according to the books, but you're pocketing it,
Yeah.
you can still qualify
Yeah.
for a mortgage. Okay.
Okay.
Focus on FHA renovation programs as well. So a home
Mhm.
that's beat up, you can definitely purchase it.
Okay.
Okay. There's programs out there that are commercialized programs as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's programs out there that are construction programs as well. So let's say, for example, it's not a home that you're going to live in, but it's a home that you're going to be working on to flip. You can get one of those loans as well. There's so many products that are out there. And what happens is that as the market continues to shift and we as, I guess, citizens of the United States, they continue to stress the importance of home ownership.
Mm-hmm.
They continue to either bring back programs, fix programs that were out once before, or they bring in new products so that they can make sure that everyone is eligible for a home. So listen, folks, don't get stuck on just understanding that there's FHA conventional VA out there.
Yeah.
Get stuck with understanding, am I working with a professional that's the lender and the realtor that knows how to package my product and what I need and knows how to get me into a house in 30 days or less?
Yeah. Are you a business owner, entrepreneur, entertainer, and you got a story to tell? You want to get your brand out there to the world? Well, you reached the right place. Let's set up an exclusive interview between me and you. I Talk Gray, and we're going to go ahead and get your brand out there to the world. But here what you do. Go ahead and send me an email with the words gray at italkgraymedia@gmail.com. See you soon. Are all lenders created equal?
Absolutely not, man.
Okay.
Absolutely. There's lenders out there, and I was just talking to a lender about this. There's lenders out there that truly just focus on the DSCR loans.
Mm-hmm.
There's lenders out there that just focus on first-time home buyers. There's lenders out there that just focus on FHA renovation loans. There's lenders out there that just focus on commercial loans. So what I believe, though, and there's lenders out there that don't answer the phone. There's lenders out there that do answer the phones, and there's lenders out there that are professional. And there's just some that are just not, So what I believe, though, is that there's not just one lender out there for everyone. I believe just like anyone out there that's going to work with a professional, the same way you interview the attorney that you decide to work with, you should interview the realtor.
Yeah.
And you should interview the mortgage lender as well.
Well, so the person, whether it's buying or selling, should interview the realtor. Really? That's what you're saying?
Most definitely.
Oh, wow.
I just left a listing appointment and I saw another folder from another company on the table.
Mm-hmm.
And the gentleman said, "You like to talk a lot." And I said, "Yeah, I do. The power of the mouth." So I asked him, I said, "So tell me about that folder that's there,
Yeah.
And he said, "You don't have to worry about them. They're going in the garbage, So not every realtor is made the same because of experience, because of professionalism,
Yeah.
because of knowledge, and because of drive.
Mm.
You can never put two realtors together or three realtors together and believe that they're built the same, probably because they're with the same company, they are the same age, or they may have gone through the same training camp.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it goes back to our number one question, which was the first question you asked me, is their why. So my why to be the best real estate professional that's out there, I'm going to educate myself. I'm going to be as professional as I can be.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to be very, very assertive
Yeah.
and very efficient as possible.
Yeah. Okay. So you said realtor, right? Is there a difference between a realtor and a real estate agent?
Most definitely. Great question, by the way, man.
Okay.
Yeah. So a realtor is someone that is that has access to the MLS. Number one, a realtor is someone that has access to the MLS.
MLS. We mean MLS.
The multiple listing services system where all the homes are listed.
Okay.
They've taken the code of ethics, which means that they're going to abide by the code of ethics with everything that they do, whether it's another realtor, whether it's a client or a customer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that they operate with the R designation. Okay.
The R.
Which is R for realtor.
Okay.
So anyone can be a real estate agent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But most people, you'll find that I would say 90% of people that are operating, they're probably operating in a realtor or realtor associate aspect. and not a real estate agent. But there's a lot of real estate agents that are out there that don't have MLS access. They don't operate by the code of ethics.
Really?
And they're, yeah, but at the end of the day, we're all licensee. So we all had to take the state board and pass the background check and everything else.
Did you pass the state boards on the first try or?
Nah, man. Nah. I took it. So I took it originally.
Uh-huh.
My certificate was about to expire.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started taking it over and over again. So I probably think like the first time the gentleman right here, we took it a few times. So probably about 2 years ago.
Oh, he's a real estate agent too.
Yes, he is.
Okay, all right, brother.
So I would say when I was finally getting to the deadline of my certificate expiring, I would say I probably took it 4 or 6 times before I finally passed it.
Wow.
Yeah,
but
man.
you never gave up, man. You know what? I gotta give you your kudos for that, because I tell people all the time, you never know what you can really do until you get into something. Like, you can say you want to do something, but until you get into it and you see what struggles may come with it, it'll really let you know if you're built for that or not. Because I'm not going to front. I did go for my real estate license, but I tried to do it online. And yeah, that was the worst mistake ever. I thought, because I was like, man, okay, I could just do this online while I'm working. And yeah, bro, I passed the actual course itself. But when it was like getting to like it was just, I'm like, yo, I ain't seen none of this in the actual course. So I'm like, I'm totally like baffled by any of this information, you know? But man, the fact that you kept going, that is amazing, brother.
Being resilient, man. I took my broker's license online though. It was during COVID.
Hold on, so you're a broker?
Yeah, I do hold my broker's license.
Oh, snap. Okay, hold on. We got to put some respect on this real quick. I thought you was just a realtor.
Nah, so during COVID, man, I had the opportunity to get my broker's license. Everybody was home, so
yeah,
I took the course and I became a broker.
That's what's up, man.
Never with the idea of opening my own brokerage, but just another acclimate to just say something was accomplished.
Because I was wondering, I was like, how you got your own team? I was like, is this something new in the real estate field? Like, I was like, I know you have to be a broker in order to have the team.
Not necessarily though. You
no?
don't.
Okay.
Any real estate agent, realtor associate, or broker can run a real estate team. So what a team is it's truly a community. It's people that believe in you. They know that you can take them to the next level, and they want to pretty much follow your steps to get there. You know, so there's some unofficial teams out there, and there's some official teams that are out there.
Okay, I like that. Do you think buying a home is an asset or a liability?
It depends. Once again, if you know that you're buying a home just to buy a house and you can't afford it, then you're making a bad mistake. Okay. Sometimes you gotta let go and start over. You know. But if you feel like you need a home because a home, once again, is energy, and we spoke about that earlier. Yeah. And it provides an opportunity for you to have somewhere where you can lay your head at night and be comfortable. Yeah. It provides growth for your family. Maybe it's your relationship that you're looking to build, or maybe it's the relationship that you're in right now and it provides some type of comfort there. Then a home is definitely needed. But if you're finding yourself working paycheck to paycheck to afford this, you gotta let it go.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, man. You know, it's just the whole American dream. You know, hey, you need the white picket fence in the backyard, and everybody just get caught up. But all these details that you've been saying here, it's just letting you know that it ain't as easy as you think it is.
I think people may be over that though now.
You think so?
I think so.
I be hearing it in certain circles.
Yeah, but then I believe that their why once again is not big enough.
No,
you know,
facts.
You know, their why is not big enough. I know people out there that rent. They've rented their whole lives, and although I try to push them into buying a home, because that's what I do. It's my job.
No, of course.
They believe that they want to stay tenants. They enjoy staying tenants. They don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And when they're ready to get up and move, they get up and move. You know.
Yeah.
So, I believe if you are going to say it's my time to own a home, because it's not. Because the realtor wants you to buy a home or your family wants you to buy a home, you have, as the individual, have to say, man, now I'm ready to own a home. Then you're officially ready to own a home.
Okay. Do you think it's smart to buy now in this market shit?
Almost definitely. I think every market's a great market to buy.
Okay.
2020 was not a good market according to the investors that I was working with, right?
Yeah.
But yet, look what happened. Once again, it goes back to, are you ready to purchase a property? Are you able to put yourself in a position of owning a home, taking care of a home, dealing with a home? And if those boxes check yes, then yeah, it's definitely the best time to buy a home. I know people that have bought homes for $200,000
wow.
that are now worth millions of dollars.
Wow.
I know people that bought homes for $70,000. I bought my home for $300,000. The lady that lived in there in 1974 bought it for $76,000.
Damn.
Imagine if they told her in 1976, right now is not a good time to buy a home with a 22% interest rate and everything else that was going on. You know what I mean? So
what's the value looking like now on your home?
We're in the sixes. Super excited to be in the sixes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Sometimes I think about selling.
Hey.
But I know a lot of people that, a gentleman that I met today, once again, he bought his house for $57,000 and we're about to put it on the market for $425,000.
Wow.
And that was in 2013. He purchased that property.
That's a major flip right there.
He's gonna make some major money.
Yeah.
Some major money he's gonna make. He didn't have a mortgage on there. He bought it cash.
Okay.
It was always an investment property for him. I was excited to hear that he owns the duplex across the street.
Okay.
I was thrilled when he said he owns the house next door.
Yeah.
He said the house.
He's making some moves.
He said the house right next to that, he owned it once before, but he sold it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a smart guy.
Yeah.
He bought the block.
Yeah.
So for any individual that's out there, they have to identify, am I ready to buy a home? Do I have the money? Do I have the down payment? Do I have the credit? Do I check all the boxes? And if that all aligns to being yes, then right now is a time for you to buy a home. But if not, then it's okay to rent. It's okay to be a renter.
Yeah.
It's probably stress-free to be a renter.
Yeah. Well, you're right. Okay. So what's next for you now, man?
Just being amazing.
Okay. Well, that you are already doing, man. But
hey, honestly,
go ahead, man.
Honestly, you spoke about Elena earlier, but I would be remiss if I didn't speak about my company.
Okay.
So what's next for me is really continue to build my company, build my team.
Mm-hmm.
I partnered with, I would say, the #1 real estate brokerage out there, the recession-proof real estate brokerage that's out there.
Yeah.
Our company announced last year that they're buying brokerages.
Wow.
So people are struggling. They're buying brokerages. We offer something that there's no other real estate brokerage that offers. So my goal for the remainder of the year and probably the next couple of years while I'm still in real estate is to continue building my real estate team. We're nationwide. I'm in 7 states, probably maybe six or 7.
Wow. So you done left Florida.
Yeah. Florida, Georgia, Maryland, South Carolina, Ohio, and New York.
Wow. He making money if he in New York.
So, and my goal is to continue build my team, create successful real estate agents or realtors at eXp Realty, man.
That's dope, brother. Man, this has been so amazing, man. You dropped so much gems. We might have to do a part 2 because I done had like a whole nother list of questions here for you, man.
Most definitely. Thanks you.
Yo, but let everybody know where they can find you at.
Hey, on Instagram, Jeffrey Corlon, and honestly, on all platforms, Jeffrey Corlon, last name Corriolan.
Okay, so you out on all platforms?
All platforms you can find me. Yeah, probably some I don't even need to be on. I'm on there too, baby.
No, but I tell people not stressed about the importance of making sure you're on all those other platforms because Instagram be tripping a little bit nowadays. Facebook, YouTube Shorts, TikTok for sure. You on TikTok too?
Most definitely. But not only that, it's really when you're in the entrepreneurial space, you never know where your next piece of business is going to come from.
Exactly.
Just like I tell the sellers, you never know where the buyer is going to come from. So you got to be on all websites.
Yeah.
So as any person that's in business and you want to grow your business, you got to be out there because you never know where that call is going to come from. I get the most mysterious calls sometimes and I say, where did you get my information? They said, I got on realtor.com. I got on Zillow.
Wow.
I got on Google. I got on YouTube. And I'm like, man that excites me.
Zillow.
That excites me when I hear that.
Yeah.
What does that mean? It means keep going.
No, facts.
That means, wait a minute, Zillow? I haven't posted something on there in 2-3 days. Let me go post 10 things on there.
But did you have it all together when you first started though, or did you kind of just throw yourself out there?
For real estate, I would say I definitely didn't have it all there. I didn't know what I was doing.
Okay, you just trying a team.
I didn't have a mentor. I fired my mentor. We can get into that story.
Yeah.
Actually, I fired both my mentors.
Wow.
Me and my friend no longer work together.
Mm-hmm.
But what I did was I really didn't have any other way, so I had to figure it out.
Okay.
So I was in the office. I was the first one in the office, man, 7 o'clock.
Wow.
And I was the last one out the office, 7, 8, 9 o'clock at night.
Wow.
But guess what? My first year in that office that I was in a couple of other offices before I left that company. I was the #1 in units.
Wow.
I was the #1 agent in units.
Yeah.
So I went to work each and every single day. I learned what I needed to learn. I educated myself. I stayed behind and studied some more.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to work and no was not an option.
Facts. No, it's not an option. You heard what the man said. He was there at 7, so that means he must have got up at 5. Man, this has been good, brother. I definitely appreciate you for coming on, man. Y'all already know what it is, man. It's your boy, Mr. Williams. I Talk Gray, and we out of here. Yeah.